right, this question goes out to my sister Caroline. This is a family question here. She wants to get ripped. She wants to make some serious gains in muscle. She wants to lose some serious body fat. And she wants to stop living life as she's been living it. Starting a program 1 month, giving it all she's got, then letting it slip the next month, then starting from scratch all over again, and continuing this endless cycle of effort that we all can relate to, that we all have done from time to time. Maybe we're stuck in that rut right now. So I am going to tell her exactly what I'm doing, and then I'm going to apply that to her. Because she has, obviously she's a female, not a male. She has a different weight than myself. And so we'll get her some help right now. So, Caroline, the first thing that I'm going to tell you is calories. They're the most important thing that you need to pay attention to. They are the thing that is going to bring your body fat to that lower percentage that you want, whether that be 10%, 6%, 12%, whatever it may be. You're going to get that through counting your calories. Now, you said that your calorie deficit right now is 1,800. So good. If that's your calorie deficit, all you have to do is find your resting metabolic rate, how many calories you need to just survive and maintain your current weight every day, and then subtract about 200 or 300 calories from it. So you lose a pound or two a week. I would say anywhere from 200 to 500, 200 to 300 are the increments that I use to go down into a greater deficit over time. When, let's say I'm eating 2,500 calories and then I kind of stop losing weight after a month or two, boom, I take 200 or 300 calories off of that, I keep losing. But if you're just starting, go ahead, take anywhere from 200 to 500 calories off. And so yours is 1,800, so let's roll with that. So what I'm doing, I have 2,400 calories right now. That's my deficit. I need about 2,800 to maintain my weight, maybe a little bit higher than that. So 2,400, so that's going to allow me to lose 1 to 2 pounds per week. 3,500 calories in 1 pound of fat. So if I'm in a 400 calorie deficit, then 7 days in a week, 4 times 7 is 4 times 7 is 28, right? Yeah, 2,800. So 400 times 7 is 2,800. So that's pretty close to a pound. I think I'm in a little bit bigger deficit. I might need 2,900 calories to maintain my current weight. So it's about a pound that I'm losing a week, and I'm good with that. I'm happy with about a pound a week right now. You want more, skim a little more off the top. You want less, skim a little less. I will tell you that the bigger calorie deficit that you're in, the more likely you are to lose more muscle. The smaller calorie deficit you're in, the more likely you are to just be losing almost completely fat and almost no muscle. Now, that being said, it has to be realistic as well. If you're just like, okay, I'll be in a 50 calorie deficit per day, well, you're not really going to see any results for a long time. So that's why I say anywhere from 200 to 500 calories is usually a good range. Okay, workout plan. Oh, and as far as health in those calories, I am not just eating crap McDonald's. You could eat Lucky Charms all day and lose weight and, guzzle back a couple protein shakes and you'll get your six pack, man. But what about, this is for men and women, What if you're a woman that's planning on getting pregnant in the near future? What if you're a woman that, has previous health conditions or, genetic things that run down the bloodline? Obviously you don't want to be eating crap if your grandfather died of a heart attack or your mother already has cancer and you're predisposed or whatever. So you need to incorporate some element of health if you want. You don't need to, but that's what I try to do. Because I do have a lot of predispositions, and my family is not the healthiest family, and I need to really be careful with myself and with my body. And if you're a male, I mean, yeah, so what? You're ripped, man. You're ripped at 25, 35 years old, but since you've been eating so crappy, I mean, what's going to happen to the rest of your life? What about erectile dysfunction, What about prostate cancer? What about all those things that have to do with the quality of the food that you're getting? It's not just the quantity and the calories, but it's the quality of those calories. Now, that being said, I really like a moderate, non-extreme approach for calorie counting, because I don't like to be so extreme where I can only have sweet potatoes and I can only have, brown rice and I can only have chicken breast and broccoli and all that stuff. I don't like that, because I am not able to maintain and sustain that. I like an approach that allows a little bit of freedom to where, yeah, some sweet potatoes, cool. Yeah, some rice, doesn't have to be brown, whatever color or flavor is cool. Have whatever kind of meat you want. Make yourself a sandwich. If there's a dish that you grew up on that you really, really like, maybe it's a pasta dish or whatever, have your pasta dish, have some gravy with your potato. But the point is that you're still getting some nutrients from the food you're intaking. You're not all like, oh, look, I'm losing weight and I'm getting ripped and I'm eating Pop-Tarts and stuff like that. It's cool to have a Pop-Tart every once in a while. It's fine, man. It's fine to have a donut every now and then, but to live off those things as staples on a daily basis, there's some problems with that in the long run. So if you're in this for the long run, then think about that. Okay, so next we're going to move on to the workout. So basically for the workout, I go to the gym 3 times a week, and I am switching my workout up a little bit. I used to be doing, I would go for chest and shoulders, and then I would go for biceps and back, and then the third day would be legs and triceps. I'm going to be switching that up now. I'm just going to be doing a push-pull legs day, and it's going to be very much the same. So I do the 3-day split. It doesn't matter if you do it Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. If you need to, you can actually combine them all into consecutive days like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I just don't like to do them back to back. I like to get a rest day in there. It feels good, but if your schedule doesn't allow, then it's nice to have that freedom to be able to move it around how you want. So basically, Tuesday is going to be the push day, and that's going to hit the pectorals, the shoulders, and the triceps. And then Thursday is going to be the pull day, which that's going to hit back, that's going to hit biceps. And then the next day, Saturday, is going to be leg day, which is going to be glutes, hams, quads, calves, and that's basically it. Now what I do is I do not go to failure. I do not believe that you need to go to failure in order to achieve muscle growth and stimulation. I actually believe that if you don't go to failure, not only do you recover faster, so you're not so completely worn out, there is less chance of injury if you're not going to failure. And 3, you are able to do more volume in your workout. So instead of just going in there and then first exercise you get on by the second set, then you are like totally wasted and you're doing like little baby weights on the rest of your different exercises for hitting back or biceps or chest or whatever it may be. Then instead you're not going to failure and you're getting a great workout on the first exercise, all the sets. Then you move on to the second one, the exercise, boom, you're getting a great workout on all those sets and you're using a good weight. And so I just don't believe that that's necessary to go to failure. Maybe if you're on steroids it is. So anyway, I basically do anywhere from 3 to 6 sets on each exercise. Lately it's been about 3 sets, and for repetitions I do anywhere from 8 to 12 repetitions. When I'm going more for strength, then I'll throw in some sets of 4 to 6 repetitions, but right now we're not talking about that. So basically for each day, then I have about 4 to 6 different exercises that I implement, all with 3 to 6 sets each. So this is a higher volume workout. That's what works great for me. I think that this is actually what works great for a lot of people, but so many people are just hooked on the muscle mags and stuff like that, flipping through the magazines, gotta train to failure, you know, that's what makes you tough and hard, and that's how's your muscle gonna grow if you don't exhaust it fully, blah blah blah. But then, you know, there's a lot of things that we're learning today that aren't necessarily that way. I mean, you just don't need to do it, man. I mean, would I be able to get this muscle right here, you know, if that were the case? No, man, I don't think so. Good, man. I'm gonna grow that thing. That's just some tricep there. Triceps coming in a little bit there. It's good to be proud of your muscles, man. It's good to be proud. So that's the workout. As far as exercises go, on the push day for the chest, shoulders, and triceps, then I do, and this is, you can do them in any order that you want. I usually start with my chest. I do, I kind of switch up the exercises a little bit depending on how I'm feeling. I don't always keep them the same. I do try to keep a journal with my reps and my weight that I used. I slack on that a lot though. But the exercise that I used chest flies, lying incline chest flies, because I like to hit the top portion of my chest at this point in my life. I feel like that's where I need to get development on. If you want to hit the mid of your chest, do flat chest flies with a flat bench. If you want to hit the lower portion, then do decline on the bench while you're doing flies or bench or whatever. So sometimes I'll do dumbbell bench. Sometimes I will do chest flies with the dumbbells. Then I will do cable flies, which I really love cable flies, especially decline cable flies, but right now I'm focusing on the upper chest, so I'm doing incline cable flies, which are a little bit harder personally for me. They get a lot of the bicep in there. And then sometimes I will do the pec deck machine, or the one where you put your arms right here and then you take both your arms and bring them to the center of your chest. Sometimes I'll do that. Basically, I just pick 3 of those exercises that I want to do for my chest, and I hit them. With biceps, I will usually excuse me, biceps is pull day. So then shoulders, I will usually do dumbbells on the shoulders, either lateral raises or frontal raises for the shoulders. And my shoulders are also getting a workout when I hit my chest, so I don't feel like I need to pick, 3 or 4 different exercises for my shoulders. So I basically just do lateral and frontal raises usually. And then for the triceps, then I do tricep push downs with the cable bar on the cable string, and then I do overhead extensions for the triceps with a dumbbell. So it really depends on you and your body, because some people, they might have worked up to doing 6 exercises, per body part, 4 to 6 with 4 to 6 sets, whereas me personally, on my chest, yeah, I can do 4 different exercises, about 3 to 4 sets, but then when it comes to my shoulders and my biceps, I don't feel that that is necessary when I'm in the gym feeling my body and seeing how things are going with my physiology. I think, man, two exercises for my biceps and my shoulders, that's gonna do it, especially since I've already been hitting my shoulders in a lot of the stuff I've been doing with my chest. Excuse me, I keep mentioning biceps in there for some reason. Must be because on the push days, then your biceps are still getting work. They're just not getting work nearly as much as they do on the pull days. So now on pull days, I do the exact same thing, man. I do some sort of row on the rowing machine. Then I do cable rows, and I use the V bar. It looks just like a V, and you can grab it with both your hands, and then you come back with your back. I do some shrugs. I do back hyperextensions where it's hard to describe this machine, but basically you're laying like this, and your feet are tucked in right here, and so they're tucked in a little area that you can push your heels up on, and then you take your torso, you bring it down to the ground, and then you go back up, you hyperextend your back, and then you feel that muscle pump in your lower back. It's a tough one to explain, but anyway, back extensions. It's my favorite exercise in the world. I've just recently started doing it, and it gives you a pump like I've never even felt before in my entire life in the gym. I mean, this is insane pumpage. And then I do some exercise for my biceps. So whatever, I pick 4 exercises and then 2 for the smaller muscle groups. And again, I keep the reps anywhere from 8 to 12, and I like to keep it about 3 to 4 sets. If you feel like you need to do 6, go ahead and do 6. As far as rest time, I keep it a solid 60 seconds is what I do. You can go anywhere from 30 seconds to 90 seconds for hypertrophy growth. Those usually work the best for people. For me, I just like to keep it a solid minute. It's easy to keep track on the clock. It's easy to feel it out. And I'll just kind of feel it out, and I've timed myself, and it's about a minute. I mean, sometimes 50 seconds, sometimes a minute and 10, but it's about a minute. So, and I warm up on the elliptical machine to save my knees because I've got some really jacked up feet. I've actually got a genetic thing going on with my feet where when I push off the ground on the ball of my foot, then I'm only pushing off my pinky instead of pushing off all 5 of my toes, and so that kind of jacks up my knees and my hips a little bit. So, by the way, I'm getting some orthotics made. I'll share that video with you guys when I get them in about 3 or 4 weeks. So I like to use the elliptical because it's easy on the knees. I warm up on that for about 3 minutes, and then at the end of my workout, if I feel like I'm up to it, then I add in a 15-minute session of cardio on the elliptical machine, not taxing myself that hard, going about 60 to 70% of my maximum heart rate, my MR or whatever, and that is my workout. It usually takes me anywhere from 25 minutes to 60 minutes, depending on if I do the cardio and depending on how fast I move from exercise to exercise. Sometimes I walk over, get a drink, just kind of not relaxed, but give myself more time. So, Caroline, in your situation, I would encourage you to utilize that plan because, I mean, let's face it, man, the same plan, I mean, if you're building muscle, this plan is going to work for you no matter who you are. You can adjust the variables. You can adjust the rest time, okay? You can adjust the sets. You can adjust the reps. You can adjust the weight. You can adjust how many times a week you do it. You want to throw in 2 leg days? Go for it. So there's a lot of things that you can do with this program. And the main key here is consistency. That is it. I've been doing this for about 7 weeks. I have missed a couple leg days at the gym, so 2 to 3 times a week for 7 weeks consistently. But I mean, come on, how consistent? How consistent are you really? And this is a general question for everyone in your workouts. I mean, how long have you really been working out with a consistent workout? A month? 6 months? 6 months is a long time. I would be surprised if most of you people out there watching actually went to the gym every single week for 6 months straight, every single day that you needed to per week, and carried out that exact routine that you had planned on doing. That's pretty hard to do. I'm not saying it's impossible. It's definitely not, and I'm working my way up to it, but it is very hard to do and it takes dedication. So find what drives you. What drives you? And it doesn't matter how petty it is, man. Whatever drives you, whatever is is so remarkable to you, to drive you, and so fascinating to you, to be able to drive you to do something. It doesn't matter what that may be to another person, or what someone else might think of your motivation. It doesn't matter. The only advice that I will give about this is extrinsic motivation, a factor outside of yourself, gleaning motivation from that will eventually fade. And that's fine, because we all have extrinsic motivations. I mean, oh man, I want to look better, I want to be more attractive, blah, blah, blah. I want to be able to fit in my clothes better. We all have those, and that's normal, and that's fine, and that's helpful, and those are good to have, and those will probably change over time. But intrinsic motivation is the one that stays with you. That is the motivation that makes you get up and go when the other things don't, when the other things fade, when you're like, man, I don't give a crap what I look like today. The intrinsic motivation is the X factor, so to speak, that makes you do things that other people won't do. And that comes from within. And whatever it may be for you, that deep inner motivation that makes you get up and go, find that. So we covered calories, diet, we covered exercise, and now it's all about consistency. It's a very, very simple program. Put 2 and 2 together, it's very easy. And I believe that you've got the tools that you need to be on your way. Now find that intrinsic motivation.